Experience comfort and modern living in a stylish 2-bedroom Airbnb at Mevida Homes Garden City. Perfectly located, this serene space offers easy access to shopping, dining, and entertainment while providing all the amenities you need for your relaxing stay. Enjoy the convenience of a fully equipped kitchen, spacious living areas, and a peaceful environment in the heart of the city. Ideal for families, business travelers, and anyone seeking a comfortable getaway. Husbands, you can get away with your wife at this place. It is awesome, it's amazing, it is stylish and comfortable. Men, nimewapatia plug. Mwende mseme picha za wanga amewatuma. Au sio? How does a man know maybe and go through something yenye iko right so that he can be able to know when to seek for help? Can you be able to tell, there's something going on wrong, I'm driving maybe recklessly, or to my friends wananiambia, mara hiyo naendesha bike aje? Can those be telltale signs? Can your children also point out, and will you take it as a father?
Yeah, you should. If someone points out that you don't do good, I believe it is only mature of you to take it. But coming to the question of how you tell that you are not doing well, I want to believe you are the person who knows you the best. You are the person who knows yourself the best. There's so much that other people don't know about you, but you know it. You know how you feel when you're happy. If you feel something different, you can tell, this is not the normal me. But some basic signs that we tend to ignore is you lose appetite.
For food, for anything?
Appetite for a lot of things. We call it withdrawal. You're withdrawing from your friends, maybe at work, some few things you did that were so fun. Some place you wielded a lot of fun from, you're withdrawing from it. You realize you're starting to get happier when you are alone, which is not normal you. You're starting to get happy when you are alone. You can tell, these days I'm going back home earlier than before, and when I go back home, very little conversations happen. Then you can tell by how you sleep. You wake up in the morning and you're feeling tired like you never slept. Or you're sleeping so late and you have no problem about it. 2, 3 a.m. you are still on. You need to start asking yourself, what changed? I have not initiated a deliberate change in my life, but something has really changed and it is pushing me to the extreme. You find that you're not having fun when people are having conversations. People are having conversations, but you're just there. Any joke that people make, you take it serious. It is serious conversation for you. You cannot differentiate from someone telling you something serious and a joke. For you, they are all the same. You're feeling tired. You're starting to feel you don't have energy to handle things. Maybe someone asks you a question and it's something basic. You're struggling to answer. It is time now you start to look at yourself and ask, what else have I not noticed? Because you see, you have noticed some changes. They are starting to bother you like, so this is happening. Sometimes you find that you are image conscious. You needed to be so clean, so neat. But these days, you're not bothered. You're not bothered. You're just there. I appeared. Again, you start to minimize apologies. Even when you do something that was not required to be done, you don't feel the need to actually show remorse. I have done something wrong. That part is overlooked. There is so much you can look at yourself and tell, I think I am not doing okay. These days I'm getting so angry, and after I get angry, I have a moment of calling myself for a meeting, self-reflection. And there is always the question of, why did I get angry? Especially that part. You get angry, you react to something, and then later on you take time to ask yourself questions. Why did you behave like this? That one is a major sign of something is very wrong. It tells you mentally you are having breaks. There is a point in time you are not yourself, and then you come back to yourself. When you come back to yourself, that's the point you now start feeling apologetic. You start questioning yourself, why did I behave like this? But there was a time that you never even bothered to know what is going on. Something else, conversations start to get shorter. You know yourself, Chris.
Yeah.
You've been alive for so long.
Yeah.
You know how you talk. But now conversations are starting to get shorter. You sit down and ask yourself, why am I meeting my friends for only 3 minutes and our conversations are done?
Yes, sir.
Look at this. Look at this. Maybe you used to go back home earlier because you want to have time to play with the kids. You want to have time around. But now these days you are starting to get slower. Even going back home slower. Dressing up in the morning slower. You start to miss your deadlines. You'll ask yourself, what changed? Because I have not initiated any kind of change.
Yeah.
But something looks like it has shifted. What changed? These are some of the signs that you can look at. And these are signs that even other people will see.
Yeah.
When I'm talking to you, I can tell. There is so much that is changing. The way you take care of your grooming, how you eat, your eating habits, the way we have conversations on phone. If I text you, how long it takes for you to respond. Sometimes you read the message, you just go offline. 1 hour later, you come and respond to the same message that you never responded 1 hour earlier when you read it, when it was fresh. It tells something is wrong. The problem comes when we try to approach you. If you tell us you are fine, you shut the door.
Everything will be okay.
Just shut the door.
Hey, Mr. Meshack, you're oozing wisdom here. I'm going to pick all these things and try and do some self.
It comes with experience.
Yeah.
It's been there for so long.
So one can tell.
Yeah,
Before
you can tell.
even somebody else says, you can tell.
Yeah, you can really tell.
Yes.
You can really tell.
What are some of the common challenges that new fathers face, and how can they navigate them?
New fathers, we are talking about someone who just got their first child.
Yeah.
They have never been around children, or even if they have been around children, they were never around children of their own. Because even if you are raising siblings or kids from a relative, there is so much you cannot do to them, especially the part of having authority to decide what is supposed to be done, what is right, that part.
Yeah.
The challenges that new fathers face is they don't know where to fit. They don't know where to fit. The child will just scream and you don't even know why or how to address it. You don't know the limits of you handling the kid. I have seen some videos of you changing the diapers. And sometimes I look at it and just feel like laughing, how people handle that part. You would rather sit there and the kid scream to death, but you can't touch that part. As a father, you don't want to touch that part because there is some imaginary taboo
in your head
that has been planted in your head by the society.
Yes.
That this is not your part. So the challenges come in trying to figure out the position in which you fit. The position in which you fit.
That can be a big challenge.
Let me tell you, Chris, having a toddler, an infant, especially the first 2-3 months of their life, it's full-time job.
Totally.
Full-time job.
Totally.
Especially for us who are living in the city and you're working. You have a full-time job during the day and a full-time job at night. And it can be traumatizing.
Very.
It can be traumatizing. And sometimes it causes people depression
Yeah.
if you don't know how to navigate through it.
Mm.
This kid has refused to sleep at night. They are sleeping during the day. So at night, it is their time to scream. But it is your time to sleep because you have a job tomorrow morning. Your wife has tried to run
Calm.
around with the kid. She is now almost collapsing.
She's also messed up.
She's mentally messed up. But now you don't want to understand that. You'll talk to her and she's not even understanding what you're saying. Disagreements tend to crop in when you have an infant.
Yeah.
And whatever happens at the moment where a child comes into the couple's life for the first time will determine whether this family will live or at some point they are going to break up. The way you handle what
That-
comes in. Because a child comes with a lot of luggage. They come full package. You're going to have disagreements with your wife
Yes, you will.
because her mental health is messed up by pregnancy and post-pregnancy.
Oh.
Physiological issues. Those are things that you cannot even understand as a man, but they happen. In her head, she already knows there is a creature that was inside her and now it is out. She's looking at this baby she has been carrying for so long. She can't even imagine this whole thing was inside my body. And that is a question she can never tell you she's asking herself. She'll never tell you. But that question is there. She doesn't even know how to grab this baby, not to break some parts. She doesn't know how strong the baby's skin is.
And men think they know. They ought to have known.
You actually expect her to know how to handle this
And yet
baby.
it's the first time pia anaingia
It is the
hapa.
first time. For me, I thank God because I have a mother-in-law who is so understanding that every time we get a child, she dedicates like 2 weeks to come and live with us, trying to bring her daughter back to normal mental state. Because when she's there, she comes with a package of love, unconditional love. Even if this baby shouts at night, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be there for you. If you feel asleep during the day, I want you to sleep. I'm going to handle the other kids. I'm going to handle the kitchen. I'm going to handle everything. Forget about there is a house girl or someone else. There is a person who is assuring you that
The safety of the kid.
I am here. If you feel like you want to sleep, please sleep. Please sleep. And no one is going to bother you because I'm going to take your position and handle the house. So now, when someone comes into her life, she tends to heal very fast. She tends to heal very fast. It also makes us have easier time as men because we know someone else is doing things that we don't even know. Because this mother has raised her own kids. She has her experience. This daughter who just became a mother is struggling to understand what being a mother is. This person comes with the experience and wisdom. She is going to give me an easier time. I'm only going to help where they require help, where they ask for it. But when you don't have such a person in your life who can come and hold you two together, you and your wife hold you together and tell you this is how you handle being a parent, trust me, you can separate. You can separate.
So what do you do when you don't have such a person?
You need to actually sit down and look for someone you can ask questions.
You ask.
This is where you
learn.
ask questions. You have to learn. You have to learn.
Because this is your child. No one
is your
mandated
child.
to come and do this for you.
You don't expect your wife to babysit this infant the whole day and the whole night, and they also serve you.
Man, umesikia.
When we got our first child in 2017 February, an elder from our church who also happens to be a friend came to the hospital the day my wife was supposed to be discharged with a baby. And she tricked me I did not know why she was doing that until later on. They have helped my wife wipe the baby. Then she sends me to the washroom with a piece of towel to go clean it up and bring it.
The poop.
Yes.
Ah.
And I was like, okay, just bring it. Went to the washroom, cleaned the whole thing, and brought it.
She was
And
testing
then the
him.
conversation was done.
She was testing him.
Then later on, she tells me, you know what? I wanted to introduce you to what you're going to be doing
Each
from
and
now
every
going
day.
forward.
Yeah.
Because you are going to do a lot of this.
Yeah.
A lot of this, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Your wife has just gone through some surgery.
Very traumatizing.
She has been in hospital for 3 days. And in her life, she has never been admitted to hospital because of being sick. But now she came here alone. She is living with someone else. Okay? With a lot of medication,
Yeah.
a lot of trauma because of being in hospital.
Yeah.
When she goes back home, you don't expect her to serve you the way she was serving you before.
It can't work.
It can't work.
It can't.
So I always tell people, the first time you get a child, accept things have changed. They have changed.
And they will change.
They will change. A normal human being should have at least 6 hours of sleep, at least on bare minimum. If you don't want to mess up with your mental health, you need to sleep for at least 6 hours in the 24-hour cycle. At least 6. But recommended 8. Now we have a young girl here with a baby that's not even sleeping an hour at a time. 5 minutes, they are up. This person is going to get mentally messed up.
She will.
She will get messed up. And she's going to reflect in the way she handles you.
Yeah.
She is so careful with the baby.
Because.
She knows the baby is helpless.
Yeah.
So she directs all the left energy, the little energy she has, to handling the baby. For you, you can deal with your own problems.
You're an adult.
You are an adult. You are expecting her to serve you, serve the baby, but she only has very little energy to serve the baby, not even enough to serve herself.
True.
So it is you now to fit into that gap of serving yourself and serving her, and let her serve the baby.
Yeah.
You have now to understand. So these are the challenges you get. You don't know how to fit into this gap, and you also don't know the limits. You don't know what to do. Sometimes she will fall asleep. The baby is just screaming. She can't hear.
She's dead asleep, totally.
Dead asleep.
Because she's so tired.
The brain has just shut down.
Yeah.
If you try to wake her up to handle the baby, you mess up. So now, you have to bring yourself very close to being a mother. Very, very close to being a mother. You have to fit into that gap of very, very close to being a mother. But now how do you fit there? If you are the kind of people with arrogance, I don't do this, I don't do this, men don't do this, just forget about that marriage. Forget about it. It is as good as gone.
It's gone.
Because now, if you have those standards, some things you'll never do them.
You won't.
I have 3 children, and none of the 3 have missed the part of me being with them and changing them the diapers. I have changed hundreds of pampers in my life.
To save.
Because my wife works. I work. We have house helps.
Yeah.
Very unpredictable human beings. She will wake up in the morning,
Say today.
just leave the house open. By the time you wake up, she's not in that house. What do? You start negotiating. Who is easier to lose their job if they miss it?
That's a tough
Because someone will
conversation.
miss the job,
Yeah.
or you carry the kid to the office. Who is easier to lose the job? Who works in an environment that is not understanding enough? We excuse that human being to go to work.
So
So if you fall into the category of the people who are flexible, like for myself,
Yeah.
not employed.
Me too.
If you fall into that category of being flexible, trust me, you're going to change those diapers.
You will.
And small kids tend to have a lot of them in a day. Yes.
Yes.
So if you have the standards of men don't do this, I can't do that, just forget about it. It's going to be mentally draining, and at some point, you just start now coming home at 3 a.m. You find yourself,
Mtakosana tu.
you just separate.
So the better way is just to learn before.
Just learn before.
Hizo 9 months.
And also accept to learn,
Yeah.
to learn as you move on.
Yes.
I really thank that lady who did that.
That was
She
awesome.
introduced me to something that I came to realize later on.
Yeah. She was even also testing you.
She
Can
was
this
testing
man
what
really
kind of a person I
handle-
am.
Can,
I never understood that.
Yes.
With my psychology training, I
Yes.
never got that so
Yeah.
quick, because it was like general knowledge.
Yeah.
You just go clean this up, bring it. But it was a test
Yeah.
and an introduction to something very serious in my head, that you can handle this.
I can tell you, there's one brother of mine. He said his first child karibu mess his mental health. He was
Yeah.
depressed kwa sababu hakuwa anajua mtoto analia nini. Mtoto akikuja amepaint is an angel. Huyu aliangi watoto they don't
Yes,
they don't cry.
why is this one
They're
behaving this?
amazing kids. Sasa huyu analia kwa sababu ya colic. Jamaa anajua? Hajui. Wife anajua kidogo tu ile ya Google. The man was depressed. Paka kwa nasema hii stories za premarital counseling hakuna kitu inafanyikaga. Because the man is not taken through this child thing.
You see, the problem we have with the system of counseling in Africa is that we overlook a lot of things.
Yeah.
If we are going for premarital counseling, we are talking about how to handle the marriage. We never discuss
The child.
what marriage brings to the table.
What marriage brings to the table.
What marriage brings to the table. And much of it is a disaster that you need to keep solving. Because marriage is a big wheel that keeps moving. And it can move to any direction. So it is your responsibility to keep it on track. It is your responsibility to keep it on track. Something else, your wife could go through something traumatic during delivery.
Yeah.
And she requires help.
Yep.
Moving around is a problem.
Yeah.
She has a wound. Maybe she got infected.
Yeah.
Something happened. What do you do?
Even going to the loo.
Yes,
What will you do? Will you bring people?
that's the question. Because I have been there watching my wife.
Yeah.
She can't even bend.
Yeah, me too.
And if she spends 2 hours without taking a shower, she
Disaster.
starts to smell.
Yes.
The baby starts to get the smell. The house becomes a disaster.
Yes.
It's a healthy issue. What do? Take her to the shower.
Yes.
Clean her up.
Thank you
She
for
can't
doing
even
that.
bend. She has a wound.
Yeah, it is painful.
She can't
Imagine
even
you
bend.
being cut kidogo tu hivi
She'll
unasikia
tell you,
uchungu.
take me to the room.
Yeah, she will.
Hold my hands.
Yes.
Help me sit on the
Yes, I
toilet
can't
bowl.
stand. I
You
can't.
come lift me up. Okay? So if you have standards, how do you handle this?
You won't.
How do you handle this?
You
This is a person who needs your help. Hold my hands. I help myself. I'm in the toilet. It is you to be here.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the smell is coming out.
No.
It doesn't matter what is going on here. It is you and the human being you love.
Yes. The
And
human
that
being
is where you
love.
define what love is. Not the happiness of just being around and being so smiley. Love is not what we see with our eyes.
For better,
It
for
comes
worse.
so deep from inside you. You can take that person to the toilet. You wipe them.
Yeah.
You flush the toilet.
Yep.
Take them to the bathroom. Clean them. Dress
True.
them.
True.
Yes, dress them. That is how you define love. So these challenges come because nobody told you that at some point
You'll
you will
do
be
this.
required to do this.
You don't expect such.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I hope I answered that question.
That one is answered.
Yeah.
We need to learn. We need to have this knowledge before we get to this space. It is good to be forewarned with knowledge. Ndio uweze ku handle all these things.
Yeah, and also you also come with an empty cup.
Ah.
Just come with an empty cup.
Ah.
Just be ready to accept whatever comes your way. I'll handle it as we move on.
Another question, Mr. Meshack. How does a father's involvement impact a child's emotional and cognitive development? You as a father being there with this child, how does it impact his emotional development?
Children grow up and learn what they see in the environment. And much of it comes with assurance. Kids need to be assured that if I come home in the evening from school or from wherever, I'm going to find the house happy as it was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So being involved in kids' life, you need to give them that assurance that I am here. We left together in the morning, maybe I was going to work or you left me and went to school, or whatever is going on. We are here, and if you need anything, I am here. Second, you protect them from unseen dangers, unseen to them. They will play around with something, but you already know it is dangerous.
Yeah.
If you prevent them from getting hurt, they register it in their minds.
Ah.
They will register it into their minds. They will understand it was almost a disaster, but someone was there for me.
Even if they are very
Even if they are
toddler
small,
stage,
they can tell.
they will-
Actually, if you argue with your wife in front of a 2-month-old baby, that baby is going to start screaming. They don't have any language. They don't understand whatever is going on. But there is so much discomfort when you two are arguing.
the energy within the room.
They can tell that energy is negative. They can tell the energy is negative. So if you're providing a positive environment in the house, you don't even need to pamper them, hold them, lift them all over the place. They can get it from you, seated from wherever you are. Providing that positive environment in the house, it helps them grow mentally. Again, they are looking at how you are talking to them, how you're talking to their mother. Because remember, children always love their mothers more than their fathers.
Question.
For us men, we fight for love from the kids. We have to fight for it.
I did it deliberately. Yo.
Deliberately, you have to.
That one I did it deliberately.
Otherwise, if you don't put that effort, you miss it.
True.
We are fighting to get that attention and recognition by our kids.
Yeah.
So, if you mishandle the person they love
Question.
naturally, whatever you do to them is irrelevant.
Question.
Irrelevant. And that's why some of us got messed up mentally because of experiencing domestic violence. A lot of men don't understand how it hurts children when you are shouting at their mother.
It is not
They don't
good.
understand. You're just messing up with their mental health. You're just putting them in a defensive environment where they keep reminding themselves, I will not want anybody to treat me the way dad treats mom. That is now what happens. You're making these kids take vows within themselves.
Oh.
I swear I will not. I swear I will not. As they grow up, it becomes a disaster to them.
Oh.
So for you as a man, being in the life of that child doesn't always mean being so happy with them. Sometimes you discipline them. They would understand dad doesn't want this.
Because
and if I don't do this, we are friends. They would try to not to do whatever makes you angry and come to the other side of being friends with you.
Because they know the friendly part of a
Yes,
dad.
they know the friendly
love
part of the dad.
Yeah.
They know the other side of the dad.
Yeah.
There's also the difference between disciplining your children and being evil around the house. Because some people are just evil. Kids can tell. From very young age, they can tell. I know I did something wrong, but I don't think I deserved this. They can tell. They'll just keep quiet, lock themselves. By the time they become teenagers, they are actually trying to fast track the calendar. Waiting for that day they will have independence against you.
Oh.
These are kids who are messed up. If they don't have chance or the knowledge to actually seek counseling when they become adults, they have a very high chance of raising a family that is almost the same way.
Broken.
Because in life, what you fear most is most of the times what you attract. What you fear most is mostly what you attract.
How
You do things trying to avoid it, but you find yourself drifting towards what you fear.
How do you counter that?
Look at how we ride motorcycles.
Yeah.
If you focus at something, you have a very high chance of
Going
hitting
there.
it.
Yeah.
We call it target fixation. That is what happens in life. You're so much focused on not becoming like your father. Trust me, very high chances
my
you're going to
goodness.
become like them.
Not become, you're focused to not become.
You focus on not becoming like so and so. So you understand them, you learn them, you finally something is going to trigger you to become them. Because life is there, you have the same genes, your blood is the same with
Yeah.
them. So most of the times, even your thinking
Will
has
be-
some similarity. If something triggers you towards that direction, you become extreme. That's why you find girls who are raised by single moms, a lot of times will end up single mothers. And even if they get married, they are
Yeah.
barely holding on to that marriage if they don't know how to handle that part. If no one guides them on how to handle that part, they will end up single moms. Men who come from families that have domestic violence, you find that a lot of times they'll end up transferring that violence to whoever they marry. But they are not transferring it deliberately. They are trying so hard not to become
avoid.
this, but they are fixed on this target.
Oh my goodness.
That's why counseling helps. We are in 21st century. People need to attend counseling. Some of these things you can only get them from someone who don't even know you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
If a relative tells you that, you think they're just telling you because they know you.
Yeah.
But if I tell you and you've just met me now and you're paying me actually to tell you
Yes,
this,
yes, you'll
you'll take
value
it serious.
Yeah.
Yes.
That when you get focused to do
Yes.
something, not to do something,
Not to do something. You tend to
Tend
find
to-
yourself
there,
getting
subconsciously.
Yes,
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
there.
yeah. Umesikia?
Too much
Tumelan.
worry.
Tumelan. Uwe, okay. That's a nice one.
Yeah.
So how do you how can you help a man who is marrying, who has married a girl from a single family setup?
They have to make this girl understand whatever made their mother a single mom
Is not what-
is not what is happening in their marriage. Differentiate your life from that of your parents. Very important. Be separate from what happens or what happened to your parents. If your father was a drunkard, just understand that drunkardness is not in this marriage unless you bring it. Unless you bring it. The problem comes now to what I have told you of target fixation is you want to delete some memories, some thoughts from your head, but you're not replacing them with something positive. Life doesn't accommodate vacuums. Something will come. The same way you take a drunkard to a rehab. They go through the process of rehabilitation for 4 months. Then they come back to the street. If they don't come to the streets with new knowledge, the space that was occupied by the alcoholism or drugs that you just deleted from the files will attract something else very fast. Life doesn't really accommodate vacuums. So now you have to understand, if I don't want to become like my dad, who was a bully, who was beating us, who was drunkard, who was not helping the mother, if you don't want to become like this, what do you want to become?
Yeah.
Make sure you have an answer.
Yeah.
Start practicing it now. Yes. Otherwise, if you want to think that life will move on except that part that I'm deleting,
Which one?
forget it. Something else is going to come in. You can be from a family that is violent, but you don't end up as a violent person. You become a womanizer. That vacuum that you wanted to create attracted something else. It attracted something else. Look at the science that flies a helicopter. Helicopter blades cut through the air, create a vacuum, and that vacuum space that is created attracts the helicopter. It lifts the helicopter. it can't remain a vacuum. It attracts and lifts the helicopter. So the helicopter will remain airborne as long as it keeps creating a vacuum. Create vacuum, remain airborne. You stop the blades, we go down. So now you want to delete some files from the system. That system cannot accommodate vacuum. It will attract something else, mostly a virus. Mostly a virus. So now you have to understand, what happened to your mother is not happening to you unless you bring it.
Yeah.
So try to do things differently.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only solution.
As simple as that.
As simple as that. Just be different.
Life doesn't have
Yeah, just be different.
Life doesn't have vacuum.
A vacuum doesn't exist in life.
Oh. Are you learning the way I am? Hey, Meshack.
Yeah.
Naweza kaa naye hapa the whole day.
It's been a lot of years.
Naweza kaa hapa the whole day.
Yeah, I have written books. I'm very sure you have an idea.
Yes,
I have some books.
Yes. Ah, this is awesome.
Yes.
Then this coming from a young person, let me call Meshack a young person.
Yeah, I am young.
Yes, we are. We are very, very young.
Very young.
If you will be hearing this from maybe a much older guy, ungesema, huyo not
mzee, ako generation, I don't know what they call it.
But when we hear from people that we can relate with, yes. I think it sinks deep and sinks differently. So marriage works. You've seen.
Yeah, it works.
It works. But
if you make it work,
yeah, you have to make it work.
You have to make it work.
Whoa,
if only you do everything and remember you're married.
You're married.
If you're out there with friends drinking, it's not a problem. Just drink, but remember you're married. If you have co-workers, females who are single and they are playing around, just play around with them, but remember you're married. On your way back home, when you go cut corners and do whatever, just remember you're married. Remember you're married. It is, at some point, it becomes a routine. You don't even need to remind yourself that I have to go back home at some whatever time. You find your schedule has fixed itself and you get home at that same time.
Another thing before I forget, how can a father maybe foster open communication with the children so that you can be able to get everything that they're going through maybe? How can a father create that good environment maybe?
That good environment is created by you acting on what they tell you.
Everything they say.
Just try to make sure you understand it and you show them that you are acting to it. They'll be motivated to come and tell you more. Yes. Don't close the door that these kids cannot even approach you and tell you something. Let them come and tell you whatever it is. Listen to it. And when you're listening, don't do anything else. Listening to a child is not the same as listening to an adult. I can talk to you while I'm doing something else. We are adults. You'll have a conversation with me, but I'm doing something else. But when you're handling children, stop whatever you're doing. Give them attention. It is going to encourage them to come back tomorrow and tell you something else. Yes. Sometimes you try to reason with them. You even ask them questions. They're going to tell you, yes, I think it was not right. You even challenge them with a question. Try to have a conversation with them. But remember, whatever comes out of that conversation ends up confirming what you told them. Don't let them challenge you. If you are guiding them, you tell them, they ask a question, you explain something to them, make sure by the end of this conversation, they have understood why you said what you said. You'll keep coming back. We were brought up in a very weird way. You go and tell your dad something, they tells you, go tell your mother.
Mama and the solution.
Especially Kikuyu fathers, where I come from. Iranyokwa. Go tell your mother. Actually, it's a very rude way of telling you, go tell your mother. And they're just done with you. Go tell your mother. Teacher said ABCD, go tell your mother.
You're pushing them away.
And if it is something required, you go back to your pocket, give the mother something, then they give to the kids. So you end up campaigning for the mother to the kids. The
Then
mother now becomes the favorite. They'll now be learning to the mother.
And when
You're
old
learning
age
to the mother.
hits, you say mothers
Yes,
stole your children from you.
Yes, now
And
you
you're the
start
one you
blaming
did-
her that
yeah.
she's campaigning
Yeah, against
you. But in reality, you are the one
You're the
campaigning.
one who did it.
I find it funny when I go back home and my firstborn and secondborn are in school. They are already in school. They'll come and wait for me to report each other for something wrong they did in the house. But the mother is in the house.
Mm-hmm.
She handled whatever was going on. But when I come back,
They still want to do it.
I'll have the statement presented to me. Everybody with their OB number. This one did this, this one did this.
What is now daddy going to
Yes,
say?
now they are waiting to see what you're going to do.
Wow.
So now, before you react, you have to confirm from the mother
Yeah,
if she
clear
is
that.
aware of what is going
Yeah.
on. Then she will tell you,
Yeah.
tulipigana.
Yeah.
Now that environment becomes standard. Whatever mom said was wrong, I also understand it is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But note that kids come from school and they tell their mother something
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
forget about it. You are not in that house. They are not in that house. Or your wife will be the one to come and tell you, kids said this. You are losing communication.
Yeah, you are.
You are losing it.
You are.
And if you continue losing it, trust me, at some point it will become obvious.
Yeah.
We never have this conversation. So, yeah.
Whoa, Mr. Meshack.
Yes.
Hey, I know we can sit here for hours.
There is so much to be said.
There's so much to be
Yeah,
said.
there's so much
There's
to
so
be
much
said.
to be said.
So
But-
much.
But I'm loving this because we are building families, we are building good children so that we can have a good generation as we are mandated by God.
Yes.
I'm not so sure if you have any other thing that you can tell fathers, maybe fathers who are already in, aspiring fathers, maybe if you can advise them.
Yeah, there's so much people need to understand as a father. It is a business of being in a team to raise a family. Don't hold everything to yourself. I am the giver of instructions. I am the project implementer. I am the suggestion giver. Like everything starts and ends with you. You're not going to handle this in whatever direction it will go. At some point, you will lose it. You need to understand being a father comes with a lot of responsibilities, and much of them unspoken responsibilities. Unspoken. Nobody is going to tell you you're required to do this as a father. You're required to do this as a father. Nobody is going to tell you. But they expect you to do it. But they are not telling you. So it is now you to hold yourself accountable. How much are you learning about being a father? How much are you learning? From who are you learning from? Because men are out there, but not all of them are fathers.
Oh.
Some people have children, but they are not anywhere close to being a father. Because there is no responsibility in their life. There is no activity in their life that proves they are fathers. They are just any other man with a child somewhere, but they have no element of being a father. So you also have to know, who are you learning from? If there is a seminar, attend it. When you sit down to discuss politics, try to mix with family. Try to understand the aspect of being a father from other people. Something that has helped me a lot is learning from older people. Make friendship with people above your age group. Because most of the times for our age, we tend to misguide each other. Someone will tell you, if your wife is behaving ABCD, don't react like this. The consequence is going to be this one. But for me, if you ask me at my age, I'll tell you, kick her out. But someone older than you will tell you, wait a minute. Maybe the problem is you. And they're going to tell you without fear. But for my age, I don't want you to look at me like I'm blaming you. So I'll try to blame the other person, make a team with you, you see. But an older person with more experience will tell you, look, there could be a problem on your side. Okay?
Yeah.
So now you start to hold yourself accountable. So if you are a father or aspiring to be a father, I want you to understand that there is so much that comes with being a father. You must come into that space of being a father with an open cup, and it has to be empty. Whatever comes your way, you correct it. When you correct it, you know how to filter good from bad advice. Good from bad advice. Expectations of you as a man have to change direction. What you expect your wife to do, I want you to understand there is someone else requiring more attention than you. So if your wife is not available to do something around the house for you, or to hold a conversation with you, or to even go out and have fun with you, understand. She would want to have that time also, the way you want it. But something is in between you two. So if you can accommodate her, you, and the other individual who came in, and create an environment of having fun, three of you, it is going to be even more sensible. Because you'll be happy, your wife is happy, and this kid is attended to. So you have to be ready to change. And change is you learn, unlearn what you learned longly and learn afresh, relearn what you learned earlier and forgot, or maybe it got messed up. That's the only way.
Wow. That is fatherhood unpacked, where we learn together and we grow together. Let's move together. Let's build these children for our future generation. Let my child, your child, Meshack's child, grow together later because they have been brought up by good fathers. It is our responsibility. As you've heard from our psychologist, Mr. Meshack, that we need to get somebody whom we can be accountable to. First, be accountable to yourself, then to somebody else. Or if you need some help, you need to look for somebody who can really do this for you. I'll let Mr. Meshack tell us how we can reach him so that we can go seek for help. Men, it is not bad to seek for help. We learn through other people. Yes, Mr. Meshack, how can we get through you?
You can get me on social media. I'm very vocal. I have accounts with a lot of followers, especially on Facebook, Meshack Samson Maina. There is no other account with that combination of the three names, Meshack Samson Maina, none other. So if you just search for Meshack Samson Maina, you find me. My phone numbers are there. I don't hide my contact details. I do a lot of counseling, one-on-one, group counseling. I do seminars. I also train corporate stress management. So if you have a group or a company that you feel employees are getting demotivated or you're handling something, I do it. You can contact me and I'm going to be there. When, as we speak, I have a session tomorrow with a school in Nyeri County. I have to talk to students, high school students. That's what I do. I have written books. I have a book called The Battle Within Volume 1 and Volume 2, Introduction to Mental Health. Volume 2 is also including hygiene habits for teenagers. Because I realized a lot of things in mental health reflect in hygiene. So I included that one. I have books that are out there. The Battle Within Volume 1 and Volume 2. I also do a lot of adventure riding, traveling. It is also part of what I do for a living and also for my own fun. I have a YouTube channel called The Two Wheels Paradise. So everywhere you go, you contact me, you'll find me. My phone numbers 0715 713 212. 0715 713 212. You call me any time of the day, whatever you want, we'll discuss. For counseling, for other things, Yes, we can. I'm always available. I try to be available because someone was available for me when sometimes I needed help. Someone was there.
Wow. We have been given a green light. Don't die alone. There's help outside here. Meshack is one of the people who is helping us. He's very vocal. I know him personally. I've learned so much from him. That's why he's seated on this couch today just for you and me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Kindly share this with another man. Please share this with another man because this is life changing. This is for generations. This is not just for fun. We are here to learn. Until next time, thank you so much for watching Further Studies.